for joining us today, Tony Jetter of Jetter Promotions. So the first thing that we want to get squared away here is that everybody calls you Jeter. But
Yeah,
tell me again, you said you pronounce it Jetter.
yeah, like Jet-er. So it's like
Jetter.
Jet-er.
Okay, got you. So everybody know that it's Tony Jetter Promotions going forward.
It would. It's never Tony because my wife is 51%. So I'm the minority owner of the company. My wife is she has the lion's share of it. She's 51%.
I love it. So we have a woman-owned business here.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
yeah, she real quick before I'm gonna go way off of everything.
All
She
right.
is such a huge part in boxing. Not that many people do boxing in the country, and she's prominent. She really has gained a ton of experience because you got to think she was with me when me and her got together. I was 4-2, and I went on and had 28 pro fights, fought for a world title, had been rated not once but twice by 3 organizations in the top 15. And she was a part of that whole journey. And now on the promotional side, she's incredible. I probably could not do it without her. And that's just me being honest.
Well, they say beside every good man is a great woman.
Yeah, yeah. And I've been lucky. That I met her and we've been able to really gel. I'm beyond thankful that we're able to do things together. And she is such a nice person. It's like she's like good cop, I'm bad cop. And I wish it wasn't like that because I'm a nice guy too, but I think I'm misunderstood. I'm passionate if that makes sense. Like
It
I
does.
get amped up quick, but we always want the best. We never try to cheat anybody. We try to everybody gets paid. A lot of the promotions now, these guys they don't pay the A side or they got to sell so many tickets. Once one side paid for it, then we'll give them a percentage on what's left over. And a lot of promoters are doing that right now. Promoters that talk shit about me, but they don't pay their fighters.
Oh,
You know, they throw slick shit my way, but they can't pay both sides. We pay everybody. Everybody gets paid. Now, of course, we want everybody like without TV, you have to have people to generate people for the shows, so that in return they have to sell tickets. But yeah, we still pay everybody, and we get percent. Most of the big shows at the casino, we do percentages on the tickets and stuff. And we're,
okay.
we're fair in our prices. I mean, like I said, we're not working with TV, but we do pay pretty good.
I've heard great things about Jetter Promotions. Never heard anything bad. Going to your shows myself, very professional. I remember the first show I've had experience with other promoter shows. I am not going to name any names because Baltimore is very small. So
Yeah,
I've gone to a lot of other promoter shows, a couple years before because I was following Travis Reeves. I was following his career.
yeah,
So when I stepped into your show, I went to Brandon's show when you had it in Philly.
mm-hmm. And
And we walked in, and I was with my cousin, and we walked into the gates, and you guys had it on TV. As soon as we got in there, we were a little late, so we were watching the fights. And my cousin was like, is this the right place? I said, I think it is. This is the most professional fight I've ever been to, or professional, I guess, show that I've been to. So when I went in, I was extremely surprised at the professionalism, the way everything looked. When Brandon came out, I was looking like, man, got the show, the fire, lights, everything. Even the seating. Like I was right up there on the ring. And I was like, it was a very intimate, it was a great arena. Like, I think you do a great job with your promotions.
yeah, 2300. We've been lucky that we've gotten some good venues. 2300 live. We're doing a show at Rosecroft coming up. But
Okay.
we've done small shows too. I mean, we've been grinding for a long time. We've done shows in gymnasiums all over. We've done a couple in DC. We did one in Atlanta. We've done multiple shows in Pennsylvania. So we've been up and down the East Coast. But yeah, I mean, we try to, you try to do your best. like I said, you're always working on a budget, and I don't think people understand how much the shows cost. And let me be complete completely. I want everybody to do well. I want Hogan, Outlaw, all the local guys. You want to do well because that in turn helps other people. People have been on the other podcasts talking about there's a new sheriff, just like talking dumb shit. But I want everybody to do well because at the end of the day, a lot of these people weren't fighters, so they don't know. I was a fighter, and it's hard, man. You're coming up, you're trying to get on cards and get wins and make money, whether it's survive, provide for your family or whatever the case may be, and it's difficult. So you want people, we want to elevate, do shows in the area. And I've done nothing but help the community. With DC, Baltimore, PG, everywhere. We've done 18 shows at Live. We've paid and helped people propel their careers. Multiple fighters. We've taken back, taken from, they're on the death doorstep, and we brought them back to TV fighting for main event, big cards. So, and that's, so we want everybody. So you want as many cards as possible because it's good for the area. It's good for boxing.
Absolutely great for boxing. I believe you guys are keeping Baltimore boxing on the map. And I do remember when Brandon fought at the Barclay Center. Like I was when as soon as I heard that, I was like, man, he's about to be on ESPN Plus. You're fighting like up in New York. It was a major show. He fought Shoo Shoo. Um, yeah, so I was just like, man, you're that's what I realized. Like you're definitely reaching. And I know the other promoters have their hands in a lot of things. Like I saw Hogan at the tank fight.
He works with Russell and them.
Yeah, I saw that he was on in their team. So it's like, yeah, it's a small world. It's such a small world.
Yeah, and you want everybody to do well. I mean, you really do. Like I said, like coming from being a boxer, like I said, I don't know about the other promoters that have never boxed before, but
Mhm.
I know what it's like to make weight. I know what it's like to fight and not get paid. I know what it's like to make a bunch of money. I know what it's like to get world rated, to be fight for titles. I know what it's like to travel overseas. I know what it's like when they pay you so much money, they wire you the money. I mean, so I've seen every aspect of the sport, and I'm thankful. That's why. And one other thing, and we can get back because I know you had some questions. So I'd like to stay on track, but I'll tell you one other thing. A lot of these guys, they want to be the coach, they want to be the promoter, they want to be the manager, they want to do cuts. They want all I want to do is promote. I don't want to be the coach. I know how to box. I know when I see some of these dudes, the dumb shit they say on, I'm like, huh? But that's not. I'm a promoter. Like I'm not like giving instructions. I fought in national tournaments all over the country. Like I've been to the Olympic Training Center.
Right.
One of my roommates was Chad Dawson when we were at Marquette. So I've done some really cool shit, and so I know boxing in and out, but we just want to do promoting. I don't want to like, my boxing days are done. That shit's over. Like,
Right.
it's cool. I'm thankful that I had boxing and that because boxing saved my life completely. Without boxing, like I'm from PG County, I'm from the gutter, like the bottom of the barrel. So I didn't, so I'm thankful for boxing because boxing saved so many people. That Upton Gym and that Umar Gym in West Side Baltimore, incredible. Mac Lewis Gym in Eastern District. Those
Absolutely.
and then the gyms in DC, those gyms save lives. And if they save one life, it's one life they saved.
They've done
You know,
enough. Absolutely.
I,
Absolutely.
I don't think in. I'm a police officer, so I look at you know the community and the police and all. They can do so much more because the gyms, you boxing. When I worked in Baltimore City as a police officer, once they got to know me, you could talk boxing with anybody. And that's like, they always talk about gyms. You could have a police officer, a convict, a killer, a drug dealer, a lawyer, but they could all be in the gym and it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Everybody's in there boxing, training, sparring. It's such a family, and it's
Absolutely. Boxing's a universal language.
universal. People, I don't think, the average person understands that like boxing brings so many people together. And that's why I said I'm so thankful, you
Well,
know.
tell me how you keep mentioning you're a boxer. Let's talk about that. When did you get started in boxing? Tell us about your career and your act. We see these belts behind you. Very nice, very cool. Tell us more about you.
I started boxing as a kid in '92. I think I was 15, about to be 16. I went down to the Laurel Boys and Girls Club. Mr. Langley, Tom Langley, was running it for a long, long time. He worked with a bunch of fighters, Percy Harris, Michael Lee. I mean, so many really good guys.
Okay.
Um, but I started training in there as a little kid or a teenager. Um, and then the rest is history. I had 100 amateur fights from '92 to 2001. I was an amateur. 2001, I turned pro, and I won the open class DC Golden Gloves in '99 and 2000. So I'm a back to back open class, and I didn't win it at 102 or two super heavyweight. I won it at 47 and 56. So I had to fight through the tournament.
Mm.
Tough tournament too. I mean, this area has always been a difficult area to get out. So from there, I signed with Sugar Ray Leonard Promotions. I did sign with a big promotional company coming out the amateurs. And I was a pretty good amateur. I was 84 and 16 as a pro, as an amateur. So I had a good amateur record.
Yeah.
Um, and I turned pro. I get three wins here. They take me up to ESPN at the Civic Center, not wherever the Sixers play. Boots Ennis has fought up there recently. It's called something else now where the Sixers play.
Yeah.
So I fought there and lost my first fight. And then I didn't fight for 4 years. Come back, win one, lose one, get crushed, winning the fight every round, every second. I get called with like a minute left of the fourth round, get knocked out. And then I don't fight again for 2 more years. So now 4-2. I come back and I meet my wife in 2007. The rest is history. I just go on a crazy run. Get world rated, win some regional titles. So got the Fecker box that got me the Patrick Nielsen fight, which I fought overseas in Denmark and got crunched, but that got me over there. This is the WBA, NABA, North American, U.S. title. This got me the Chris Eubank fight for the world intern. This is the Virginia State. I beat somebody in Virginia for that. And then this is the UBO. That was my first title.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, you know, uh, it how many promoters can say that? Like, I mean, there is some definitely Delahoy. You got Thomas Lamona's doing this thing, but I'm not a lot.
Yeah, you're the only one around here that I knew about. That was
Well, you got Outlaw. Outlaw's starting to do his. He's got a couple fights.
Got to get more familiar with the rest of these promoters out here.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, so I turned pro, going a crazy run, and my pro career I was 20 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, and a couple no contests. And then during that run, we started promoting. We started having, just people. I don't know. We were like, you know what? Let's start promoting, and the rest is history, man. We just started doing shows. We started in 2008, did a couple shows. Then we took a break for a little bit, did amateur shows, then came back in 2012, and then we just been on a crazy run. But boxing, but I'll tell you, promoting way harder than
being a boxer.
Boxing. Yeah, I feel when when I uh when I was a fighter, I knew I just had to fight, and that was it. promoters, like I gotta worry about the fighters, I gotta worry about the money. There's just so much that goes into it. It's just crazy. It's it's not. I see why when they say new people jump on, they lose a ton of money. We did the same thing. Our first show lost like 30 grand. Next show we lost like 20. So in like a 2 month span, we lost a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And it's just difficult. If you don't know what you're doing,
Yeah, it's a learning experience, just like anything else. Just like
yeah.
anything else. I mean, it's always going to be some challenges when you jump in and do something new. Um, like, how do you feel like your promotions have shaped Baltimore boxing scene over the years?
I mean, I don't think it's shaped Baltimore because we're really not doing shows in Baltimore. We're in like the surrounding counties and stuff. Live. We've done 18 shows at live. Our next one there will be July 26th. Then we're back November 22nd. Then we got 3 dates for next year. So we have 5 dates right now. Close.
So is everybody that are on the shows, are they all your fighters?
Yeah.
Or okay, you're the promoter. It doesn't matter if they're your fighter or not. You're just trying to change some lives around here and help some
Yeah,
people.
oh, if they can sell tickets too, obviously we need people to generate ticket sales. I mean, a show like that, you have to, be able to put people in the seats. Um, and, you know,
Right.
well, no, because the one thing I don't think the fighters understand is how expensive everything is.
Yeah.
You got to pay for the DJ, the EMT, the insurance, the commission. I mean, it's just so many.
Venue.
Everything.
You got to pay for everything. Yeah. The show is
And,
very expensive.
you really, I don't think that people understand just how much it's taxing. That's why it's difficult. But yeah, we're like I said, we're continually grinding and pushing forward. I do feel like we've come a long way in a short time. And just like I said, I'm thankful I have my wife because she is good. Like if I do the boxing part, then I can let her talk to the fighters and stuff. We just work good together.
Absolutely.
She has a great person.
Right.
Have you ever met?
Everything they say everything is better, like that mastermind principle. Everything is better when you have somebody else, with the same goals and the same vision and same dreams, so you guys can share the responsibilities. I'm sure it takes a lot off of your plate. Is she like the person that goes and scouts the talent, or how do you guys do that? How do you guys find the talent?
That would be me. Yeah, I deal with the boxing part. She deals with a lot of other stuff. Which like Ahmad Jones got Ahmad Jones in the Grand Prix that's in Saudi Arabia, and he'll be fighting this. I think the 17th or 18th in Saudi Arabia, April, and that's for the WC Grand Prix tournament.
I saw.
And she's been helping with all his medicals and getting everything set up and so forth. Oh, that's you're right. You're right, Umar. So
Absolutely. Everybody knows Mojo. Team Mojo, Ahmad Mojo, what's his last name?
Jones.
Bob Mojo Jones at Umar Boxing Gym. Make sure y'all check him out. He's on Facebook, IG, and all that good stuff. Or you can check on Jetter Promotions or my page. We're gonna put all of his stuff up there too, so you guys can check him out. When did he sign with you?
Couple of years, I think 2 years ago. 2 years ago, but we all his fights have been with us. He's 10-0 with us. So he was fighting on our shows. He hadn't been signed with us, but he was fighting our shows. Fought in Philly a couple. That's right. You came to see him you came to see Brandon.
Yeah.
But on the 2300, and then all his other fights have been at live.
And I did want to tell you again, it was also you pick you not only do you have good productions, but you have good fights. So it's not like when I go to a fight, I feel like somebody's standing here to take a L for somebody else, or I feel like somebody's what is that, boosting somebody's record. So that's always a great thing because when you watch boxing, you really don't want to go in there and pay however much you're paying. Like if I'm paying $65 for a ticket, I don't need people to get knocked out in 20 seconds. Every fight cannot be a Mike Tyson fight. So I do appreciate you having good matchups.
Right, you were at the last show, right?
I didn't make the last one.
Okay, well, we did have that was the most knockouts we've ever had, but it was exciting. But I'll tell you, Brandon lost and Chris Glenn looked good. Like he boxed well, very skilled, show good skill set. But I'll tell you, it does these fighters no good to get them guys, especially these high level kids. I can't now. I get it if we get to the end and a bunch of fights have fallen out. You just got to make a fight because you got a week left and there's this is all that's you got to do that. But if you could put your kid, you don't want to get your kids beat, but you want them to learn. You got to be, and that's where it becomes. You got to have a mindset to do that. You got to have a good matchmaker, always a good matchmaker, because there's some matchmakers that will get you crunched, but at the same time, that's why I feel good about. I know box. I boxed. Like I understand boxing. Like I'm like I could watch a fight. I could figure out what's what. And a lot of these guys don't. They get their kids picked off. But back to the I don't want these high level kids. I can't put a Mod Jones in the kids. They're just gonna fall over. Now, like I said, you get a week out and the fight falls out and you gotta make a fight. You gotta do what you gotta do. You want to salvage the fight, you want the kid to fight, make some money because he's been training for 2 months. I don't think people get that. These kids are training for months and months to fight for a couple $1,000. Are you kidding me? Like, and then they're not going to get that because the fight fell out. So we got to do whatever we can. At that point, sometimes you get a barn burn, but then other times, you may not.
Understood. I mean, there have been a couple of fights. It's funny that you say that because a lot of people don't realize that, like you said, the champions are the people who are just like in their full time, they're full time boxers, and they're people who have regular jobs and are
Yep,
boxing after work.
yep.
And I am absolutely one of those people. But it's amazing how you see some people that are ready for the event when it comes up and some people that aren't. Just like what was it, Devin Haney's last fight? When his opponent got switched was it Devin Haney? His opponent got switched at the last moment. There was somebody.
Yeah, I think he fought the kid
No,
that
it was Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur fought the plumber, the white kid.
The plumber, and everybody was talking about Shakur because they felt like he should have got the plumber out of there, but without giving respect to the fact that this guy has been training as well. It just it,
Undefeated.
Say it again.
He was undefeated.
It was a good fight. Yeah, it was competitive. And I like the fact that Shakur gave him the respect. But then you
Uh,
have,
hold on. I'm gonna give you another one. On that same card, Joseph Parker, his fight fell out in Baduli or whatever that knocked Jared Anderson out. They put him in 2 days. Joseph Parker knocked him out. But that's another one where and that's why I try to explain to people, especially these people locally, they don't get it. Fights at the highest level fall out. Now at this level where you're not making as much money, it's difficult. That's why you got to have a good matchmaker. It is so important, for a promotional company to have a good matchmaker, and they could pretty much hold everything together. And there's always, times where things fall apart, but most of the time, a good matchmaker will come through.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, like as far as the future of boxing, I know that you have a bunch of guys. Do you have any females that you have signed?
We don't, we don't. So
Okay,
we will get some. I mean, we just had our first female fight on the card, Casey Wheeler.
I heard about that.
Yeah, but we could have. I mean, we could have had Tiara Brown. I know she was locally, and she just won the WC World Title.
Absolutely, I've seen her fight before.
Amelia Moore was locally. She's training our gym. We got her a bunch of fights as an amateur. Now she's with Joe Duarte. Not Joe Duarte. She's with Jimmy Birchfield. What am I talking? She's with Jimmy Birchfield up in Connecticut.
Okay.
I think she's 2 or 3 now.
Okay, sounds good. So I guess we have to just stay tuned to see what you got going on.
A10.
Say It's an innovative time.
Yeah, and we did just sign the kid from Baltimore from Mac Lewis Gym, Tyler Langdon.
Oh yeah, Tyler.
You do know?
Interview with him next. I'm gonna go down there and I'm trying not to hinder, I know the fight's coming up next month sometime, so I'm gonna go down there and just shoot some shots of him while he's training down there with Coach Warren and stuff.
He's come along. He's come a long way. I remember seeing him. I'm sorry, I'm going way off, but I remember seeing him at an amateur show, and he was big, but he had the cowboy hat on. I'm like, I love this kid. He could fight a little, he's big, but he was throwing his foot like he knew what was up. And I was like, yeah, and it's crazy that we're working with him now, but he's slimmed down a lot. He's gotten in great shape, and he can fight. Like he's legit.
Absolutely. I
Being national champions as an amateur and as a pro, he's 4-0, looking to continue. He's going to fight for a little belt, and hopefully this is one of many to come. And I believe that. I truly believe that he'll, if they trust the process. And a lot of people, the more fame they get, because I can remember as a boxer too, like the more I won, the big fights I won, my ego was just, you got to have ego as a fighter. You got to think you're the best. You got to, because if you don't, you're already
already
set
lost. Yeah, you already lost.
yourself up for defeat. Yeah, it's like you have that defeated mindset. You got to always. So I love his attitude. He's got a great attitude and talent. And the cruiserweight division and the butcherweight division is wide open. It really is.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely got a great attitude. He trains hard. He's come a long way. I still remember when I first met him at Honeycomb. The funniest thing is, as we were randomly setting up our interview, found an old picture of us, and I'm gonna post it on the page. Back when Tyler was smaller than he is now. When I tell you, I looked at that and was like, "Oh my God, this was like 5 years ago." We both look so young. I remember the days. I remember the days. Honeycomb Gym. But
Yeah, yeah. Were you at Honeycomb?
I was at Honeycomb. That's I I guess you can say that's where I was born as a boxer, and I was working with Vernon
Yeah.
Mason.
Tim,
Um,
Tim was there too, right?
yeah, Chin. Yeah, so Chin. Had Honeycomb still been where it is, Chin probably would have been my cut man, and Vernon Mason probably would still be my coach. But just the way everything kind of went down, I kind of
Vernon is at Mac Lewis now.
yeah, he's down there at Mac Lewis. It's just everything's on the east side, and I live on the west side, so I had to come to do something a little bit closer. So it was between Umar and Upton, and I already knew Coach Marvin, so I went down to Umar. It's just comfort.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, got a lot of nice guys down there. Dimes is down there. They got I don't know the other guy's name that's a pro, but in Mojo. So it's just like when I go down, and the kid that just won the Golden Gloves, like it's a lot of talent in that gym. So it's a good atmosphere. It's a good atmosphere. But let's go ahead and what do you wanna tell Baltimore as a promoter? Like, what is your message to Baltimore? Like let's see, to the boxing community. Do you have any?
I mean, we're just General Promotions going to continue to promote, continue to work with fighters from all over Baltimore, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, Northern Virginia. We're just going to continue to do big and good, great shows. Like, and we just want to work, and we do want to work with everybody. Like the one thing, and this is like another thing I'm gonna give you. This is just my philosophy. I don't need to like you to do business with you.
Mm,
Like people in boxing are so catty. Like I could work with they're like right, like so catty. Like you're like what? Like oh, I don't like him. I can't mess with that gym. Like I don't need like long as we can respect each other and do good business. We don't need to hang out. We don't need to be friends.
absolutely business.
You got to have a working relationship. You got to be respectful, and you got to, and it's hard. I know boxing's difficult. We're in a combat sport, but so I want Baltimore to know we're trying to work with everybody and anybody, and that's, basically, what we're trying to do, and we're just trying to grow, like, from where we were when we started in 2008 to where we are now, it's like light day, you know. So yeah, grown a lot, and there's so much more to grow.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're all looking forward to it. You all have to make sure you get down to a Jetter show. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. They're always exciting. Every show I go to is exciting. Regardless of the lineup, they're always great matches. So you have to make sure you get there. What's the date of your show again?
Our next show is May 10th at Rosecroft, and we're excited. This will be a good show to be because we did 3 shows last year at the casino. I got to do more than that I got a bunch of guys in my that we have signed, and we need to fight them. Like I can't, they can't just do 3 shows at the casino. So we're gonna do 2 at Rosecroft, but we could do a show in Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore. I would love to do a show in Baltimore. I fought in Baltimore a bunch of times,
Mhm.
especially as an amateur.
Okay.
I fought at that Hyatt that was down by Camden Yards. The big Hyatt right there, right off of Pratt.
Mhm.
Maybe it's not.
All of the where like the Marriott and everything connects. Got a lot of convention
They
center.
have, they have fights in there. When I was an amateur, I fought there. I think '96. Cool though, so cool.
Well, you brought something up that was like you said the Civic Center is where you fought, and like that dated you right there when you said the Civic Center because I remember going to watch the Bullets.
Yeah, well, it
So
was
yeah.
wasn't this. I mean, it's called what the hell is it called in Philly? They call it something else now. The Spectrum. It was called the Spectrum when I fought there, but now, or no, it just had changed to the new name, the new arena. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I'll tell you this: came out there's like 16,000 people out there. I was 3-0. I looked around. I was like, damn, this ain't like Michael's 8th Avenue.
Oh man, that's where I fought my first fight. And,
You
and the craziest thing is, I'm at Michael's 8th Avenue, like, oh, there are people here and they're saying my name.
right? Yeah,
The
yeah.
nerve, people don't understand what it feels like to be under the lights. It's a totally different feeling.
My pro debut was at Michael Safe Avenue. I won the 99 Golden Gloves at Michael Safe Avenue, and I had a bunch of amateur fights. My last amateur fight was I never even thought about that. My last amateur fight and my pro debut were both at Michael Safe Avenue. Crazy. Wow.
Rest in peace, Michael's 8th Avenue. Rest
Yeah,
in
dude, how crazy was that? Everybody thought the Wagner's owned Michaels. Could not believe they didn't have that somebody else owned it. Yeah, that place was incredible.
Yeah. They tore down a piece of history, but
History. That place was known around the country. It was one of the biggest club shows that they had in the whole country.
wow.
They're crazy.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's okay. You're about to put everything back on the map.
We're
Where
trying.
where can we find you on Instagram?
You go to Jetter Promotions.
And
Just
you're on Facebook as well.
Jetter Promotions.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sounds good. What about YouTube? Are you on YouTube at all?
We're Jetter
All
Promotions.
right, Jetter Promotions. If you need to find this man, that's where you go. Jetter
That
Promotions. But you can also find the links that they'll be down in the description for the podcast, so you can always check that out. What else you got for us?
now we're just continuing to grind, continue to sign fighters, continue to, build a better Maryland. And we just want to do help the fighters get to achieve their goals. You got to think, Brandon. Speaking of Brandon Chambers, he had like 3 amateur fights. I get him on TV. I get him a big payday. Guy have fought multiple. I think he fought 3 or 4 8-round fights for,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go a little off topic. Brandon Chambers has fought everybody. There's a bunch of kids his size in this area. They don't call out themselves, but they all call Brandon out. Brandon fought Chris Glenn, fought Jakeem, I think
I remember them.
twice,
That's just
and all
it.
these other guys and he's you know a guy that's 38 years old that only had 3 amateur fights, never ducked or dodged anybody. And a lot of these guys are at that weight or not calling them the other guys out there at that weight because there's a bunch of them at 122 locally.
Right,
They should be
right.
calling themselves out. We can put those fights on. You know, they we have a show July 26th. All those guys can fight. They want to fight each other.
Okay. Well, this it definitely sounds like there's about to be some excitement to see. Well,
These guys don't want to fight. Nah, they want to cherry pick against Brandon Chambers, who had 3 amateur fights, and he was tough though. He'll fight anybody. And I said, Brandon, we gotta, be. And I thought he won the two Jakeem fights. Especially the first fight was close. The second fight, I thought he won easily.
right.
They had him losing by 4 points in this. I'm like, huh? What?
I'm about to run out of time here. So so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. But I really appreciate you chatting with me today, Tony. Remember, it's Jeter Promotions, not Jeter, Jeter Promotions. And I'm just gonna wrap it up here by saying that hopefully you see me on one of his cards very soon.